Hi friends, today we are going to be creating a floral mixed media collage. We're going to be using bits of cutout magazine, maybe something from some collage books, your junk mail, watercolor, pens. I mean, really throwing the whole kitchen sink at this. My name is Julie and I'm with the Pigeon Letters Design Team. I love making these collages. I've really become almost obsessed with them over the last year. But it's so fun to kind of just get your hands dirty and be a kid again. I really can't wait to see what you create, and let's get started.
So here's a look at everything we are going to be using today. And this is specifically what I'm using. Whatever you can find as far as your collage elements go. I've cut these out from like a little collage book. It has different pictures. And this I've attached as a PDF of some really cool stock images for you guys if you want to cut those out. But really anything you can find from like a magazine, a little collage book, maybe even some junk mail that you get in ads. I just like to kind of cut them out and keep them in a little baggie. I have some washi tape here, so we are going to use that and maybe even use it on our final piece. And then some stickers. These are some really cute stickers from the Pigeon Letters and Happy Planner collab. And then for scissors, you can just use regular old scissors or a little X-Acto knife, which is always great when you get kind of into like these little itty bitty flowers. They can be really tricky. Okay, we've got 2 pieces of watercolor paper. This is actually 1 piece. I just cut it in half. This is going to be our piece that we're working on, and this is going to be just a watercolor wash that we can cut up. So any size that you have works, but this was a 9 by 12 that I cut into 2 6x9s. For brushes, I've got a round 10 and a 1-inch wash brush. And for glue, I've got this Craft Bond blue. Craft Bond glue. Gosh. And this one is like a little liquid one. You can use a glue stick if you want. And then I've got these 2 monoline pens, a little bit thicker, a 5 and a 7. And that just adds more fun little elements. So let me get all of our paint and everything ready and we can get started. We're going to start using the round brush and a little bit of indigo. This is going to anchor your collage a little bit, give it just something to sit on. So it kind of doesn't feel like everything is just, floating out in space. Which is funny because this is going to look a little spacey. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a really saturated wet brush and pressing it down on the side and sort of just rolling it around because we want really loose edges. And we are just going to be working basically from this corner up this way. And it's going to get lighter as we go. So lots of water. You can always add more. And this is just sort of the background. We don't really want any defined lines. Almost like a little cloud. Happy little cloud. And if you want to just sort of brush it up so that your paint has somewhere to go, go ahead and do that. So it sort of looks like a little comet. And then we'll just add some more saturated bits to the outside. If this feels like a little crazy for you, that's okay. Collaging can be weird and wonderful all at the same time. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense until you're finished. Like if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, I'm not not really sure what this one is going to look like anyways, but that's what is so fun about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is get a really wet brush with the indigo and then just tap it. Actually, I have to go this way. Just tap down, add some little elements here. And then if you want, you can do the same thing with just a clear brush. And that's going to add some little specks. Oh, got my face. It's going to add some little specks to your final piece here. And if you feel like some spots, like right here, are too much and they're not going to dry, or you don't really like this end, just grab a little towel and go ahead and tap that. Okay, you can't mess this up. We're covering up most of this anyways, but I think it just adds such like a cool texture to the whole thing. So, all right, we are going to move that off to the side to dry without dropping it. And then go ahead and grab your other piece. So with this one, we are going to be using the green, Perylene green, which is sort of a bluish green. And we are going to use the washi tape for this. The washi tape is going to kind of help it from buckling so much because we are going to be using a lot of water on this one. So this is just going to kind of help it stay on your desk instead of completely giving up. This cute little pigeon tape here. All right, so we're mostly using the green. We'll use a little bit of the indigo as well because this part doesn't really matter. We're gonna cut this whole thing up. You can save some for another collage, but for today we are just getting the whole thing wet. And we're just doing a really cool wash up here. Love this color. It's sort of like a forest green, which I think is really fun to use if you're going to be using sort of like a pink and yellow, sort of brighter elements for the collage bit. I just like that, you know, general juxtaposition of the two. Okay. Using the round brush, which gives you a little bit sharper of a tip, I'm just going to go and add some of these little guys down here. This adds a really fun texture. You know, when you're cutting it up, it doesn't look like much now, but when you cut it and you get these really cool little bleed areas, I love that. So this is the wet on wet technique because your watercolor paper is wet. So when you drop the paint in, it sort of blooms into the whole thing, which is awesome. Let's add a little blue. Right. Can't forget the indigo. And again, this is just kind of, you can't mess this up. So, I mean, you can try. I try all the time. But when it dries, you'll see the parts that you love and you'll be able to, you know, save them or cut them up or repurpose them however you'd like. Sometimes I even take these little extra bits. You know, maybe we cut this part up and this is left over. I'll use it for like little name tags for gifts or anything sort of where you want to add a little pop of color. Okay. So I've printed out this little PDF that I've attached with the tutorial with some florals on it. So you have this if you want to print it out. These little yellow flowers I got out of this book that I got online, sort of just full of different little elements. You can use, I've used old magazines, print magazines, obviously. Old mail. I know that we get some ads sometimes that have really cute things in them. So just as I see them, I cut them out. I try to keep them. For now, we are going to go through and just cut out and try to sort of place things how we think we might want them. Okay, so now that you've got your little florals cut out, we are going to grab your watercolor wash piece, nice and dry. If it's not all the way dry, again, feel free to blow dry it, pause the video, come back later, and then your background piece. So what I like to do is make sure it's not too warped from all the water. You'll see here that I had a little explosion because I threw it on the ground to dry, which apparently was a little too chaotic for it, but that's fine. Okay, and then what I like to do is sort of just see where all of the little colors land and where I maybe need some more, if that makes sense. I am going to add the green to this space right here. And so I'm going to do, okay, and then I am going to make this a little more manageable for me. All right, and I have these 2 pens. You can grab either size. This is the 7, the archival ink. So this works really well on watercolor and everything. It's not going to smudge. And then since these lines are straight up and down, right? This line over here is going this way. I'm going to go in this direction. This is very specific, but this is something I want you to think about when you're making it. Which direction do you want to draw the eyes? I kind of want it to be a rectangle, but with ripped edges. So for that, we're going to rip in little tiny rips all the way across. So one finger is going to sort of hold down the fort here. You can do this against like a ruler if you wanted. It will give you a cleaner edge, but I think this is kind of fun, so we're just going to keep going. Like I said, I don't always know where these are going to end up until they're finished. You know, I mean, is this giving watermelon vibes? Absolutely. But that's okay, because you know what? It's almost summertime, and who doesn't love watermelon? Okay, I think right here. Move these. Okay, so we've got this. It's gonna go here. Love that. And then we've got these little guys. So I think since we have this, a square, you know, soft edges, I'm gonna go for some circles out of these pieces. You can trace these. You can actually use your washi tape if you want. I love to freestyle it because then they're just, you know, they're not perfect, and that is fun for me. If that stresses you out, please, by all means, just trace your circle. Okay, it doesn't need to be chaotic all the time. I think this one, I'm going to add some lines on this one. You can see here. You guys like, you can hear my little motor whirling out loud right now. I feel like we need one more. Oh, maybe another flower. I see, I love that. Okay. See, keep your other stuff handy so that if you have a little epiphany moment, you've got all your stuff there. I think maybe one more little circle to sort of anchor that bottom flower as well. And we'll, oops, excuse me. And I think with this one, we'll do some lines on the other half. Okay, so we're now we're going to glue it together and add in some stickers, which is always fun. I always have a hard time when it comes to gluing it that I'm gonna forget where I wanted stuff to go. So I try to just move one thing at a time. Again, you can go glue stick or this glue pen. I'll go glue stick for now because it dries a little bit quicker. And you know, you guys have things to do, places to be. So go ahead and put this here. And if you don't want to get glue all over your desk, grab that piece of cardboard again, and then you've got that to sort of soak up your mess. And you'll notice that we went vertical with these lines, so they're sort of balancing each other out. I mean, and it seems chaotic, but I promise there's some method to the madness here. And we'll glue down this big one. The bigger pieces you do have to hold for just a bit. Yeah, and one thing I do want to do, I love this washi tape with the little pigeons on it. I think those would be really fun. Oh my gosh, if I can if I can get it open. I feel like those would be really fun to add onto this little piece here. So I'm gonna cut it. Just because, I mean, who doesn't love birds? Oh my gosh. I think, oh, you know what? It would be cute on this one. That's where it's going. And we use washi tape or washi stickers. Usually they have this really fine background and they're just really easy to use. They're just kind of like a fun little element to add. Okay, let's add this little cute yellow one. Okay, and let's see. I sort of gotta add these last ones, so we want to make sure, you know, we're moving the eye up and over. So I think we'll go here. I wish I could ask you. What do you what do you guys think? I feel like these are gonna go here. It's a group project, collaboration. Yellow one. Oh, cute. We're almost done. Oops. Hey, the great thing about collage too is that if you rip it, it's okay because we're literally gluing everything together. Okay, one more. This is a blue one. Awesome. Okay, one last thing is I feel like we need a couple more things. I have these cute stickers, the pigeon letters and happy planner did together. Where are those cute little stars in here? And there they are. I want them. Let's see. There are these blue ones that sort of match. Let's see. I want to put these here. And then let's do one more. Right, and it's so easy to add just like a little bit of balance without really overwhelming the whole thing. So this is your final piece. We've got a wonderful, whimsical watercolor floral collage. I hope you enjoyed this today. If you do share this on social media, please tag me so I can see it and I can cheer you on. And I can't wait to see what you create.